In this video, I'll be showing you how an Arduino can read temperature in Fahrenheit and Celsius using a thermistor. First, I want to explain what a thermistor is. A thermistor is basically like a resistor that changes this resistance based on the temperature around it. So based on that, we can figure out its resistance by doing some calculations with the Arduino, and we can figure out what's the temperature based on the resistance that the thermistor has. So basically, that's what we are going to be making here in this case. So here's the circuit right here, and we have an LED to demonstrate the thermistor because on this platform, which is called Tinkercad, we do not have a thermistor. And so one side of the thermistor, it doesn't matter which side it is because it's just like a resistor in a way, but changes its resistance based on the temperature. So it doesn't matter which way you connect it, the polarity doesn't matter. So one side of the thermistor, we will be connected to positive 5 volts. Then the other side of the thermistor, we will be connecting to the A0 pin on the Arduino. And then on the same row, where we connected the A0 pin to the thermistor, we will be connecting a 10k ohm resistor. Most thermistors are 10k ohms, so we also want to use a 10k ohm resistor as well. On the other side of this 10k ohm resistor, we will be connecting to ground. And so basically that's the circuit, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect this up. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect up the thermistor to the Arduino. So I'm going to go ahead and put it onto the breadboard. And then we're going to go ahead and place the resistor. Connect it to the thermistor, then connect the other side of the resistor to ground, and then I'm going to connect the other side of the thermistor that's not connected to the resistor. I'm going to be connecting that to the 5V pin on the Arduino, and then I'm going to be connecting the row that is connected to the resistor, and one side of the thermistor I'll be connecting that to A0 right here. So now the circuit is connected up, so now we can go ahead and look at our code. Okay, so now here is the code, and so basically here we defined a library. That's the first thing we do. Here in this library is called math. You don't need to install this on the Arduino IDE because it comes pre-installed in the Arduino IDE, so there's no importance to do that. And we basically use this library to help us calculate up the temperature in Fahrenheit and Celsius that the thermistor is sensing. Next thing we do is we do constant thermistor pin A0 is equal to A0. Basically, A0 is the pin that we have connected to the thermistor. So basically, we're just going to put that value into thermistor pin. Then we go ahead and do const float all1, and this is going to be equal to the value of ohms of the resistor that we have used, which is a 10k ohm resistor. So we're going to put 10,000 right here. So then we have coefficients here. This is just comes from the data sheet of the thermistor. This helps us so that we can convert the temperature that the thermistor is sensing. Then we go ahead and come into the void setup, and we set up the serial monitor, and then we also set up the thermistor pin, and we set it to an input. Then we go into the void loop. We go ahead and read the thermistor pin by doing an analog read thermistor pin, and we put that value, that analog value that we get from the thermistor, and put it into value. The first step we have to do to start calculating up the temperature is we have to figure out the resistance of the thermistor. So that's what we do first, is we go ahead and do R1, which is holding the resistance of resistor that we connected to the circuit, which is 10k ohm, times 1023 divided by value minus 1.0. This will calculate the resistance of the thermistor, and then put that value into R2. So then we come down here and we just calculate up the value so that we can calculate the temperature in Celsius and also Fahrenheit. So all this right here is just from the documentation, using all these coefficients and helping us get into a value where we can start using it and figuring out what the temperature is in Celsius and also Fahrenheit. So after we do that, then it's quite easy here. We just go ahead and do temp k, which is what we get from here, right here. This is the value that we got from all this. This is what it's put in right here, temp k. So we do temp k minus 273.15. This will give us the temperature in Celsius, and we're going to put into temp c. So temp c will be holding the temperature in Celsius, and then when we come down here, we're going to convert the temperature into Fahrenheit. So this is what we do to convert it into Fahrenheit, and we put it into temp F. So temp F will be holding the temperature in Fahrenheit. And of course they're both going to be floats as well. So then we go ahead and print out the results. So first thing we do is we go ahead and print temperature without going to the next line. So we don't do print ln, we just do print, and we just print the temperature. Then we go ahead and print temp C, which is the temperature in Celsius, and then we go ahead and separate it all by putting C to tell us that the temperature is in Celsius, and then we're going to go make the break, and then we can go ahead and print the temperature in Fahrenheit. So that's what we do here. We just kind of have a separator, and then we go ahead and print temp F, which is holding the temperature in Fahrenheit. And then we go ahead and just put F right here to say that it's in Fahrenheit. And then we go ahead and just delay 1 second, which means we are going to be reading the thermistor every single second and updating the temperature. So basically that's all that this code is doing, and so now we can go ahead and see our project in action. Okay, so now here is the project. As you can see, we have the thermistor right here, and then Arduino's be underneath this breadboard, like so, right there. So now we can go ahead and put our hand over the thermistor, and pretty much immediately the temperature will start going up, as you can see. And then once we let it go, the temperature will start dropping. So basically, this temperature is basically accurate for me. So basically, guys, that is how you can use the thermistor with Arduino. If you like the video, consider giving this video a like. Also, comment down below if you have any questions, and consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.